guests and fellow members. Have you guys heard of the world's pin code? Anybody? The world's pin code, 1114. Anybody? Okay. This is what I heard from this statistician called Hans. He's a Swedish professor. So he talks about poverty. So today I'm going to talk about that topic for a little. Do you guys know what is the population of the world? It's currently at 7 billion. 1 billion in America, 1 billion in Europe, another billion in Africa, and 4 billion in Asia. Out of those 7 billion people, they come from all walks of life. From people who don't even have money to buy shoes, to people who scream and save to buy a bicycle, to people who can afford cars, and to people who can even afford planes. And how many of those 7 billion people are those who cannot even afford shoes? 2 billion. And a lot of them are from our region. They're from Asia. Places like India, so big, but yet there are so many rural places, so many poverty-stricken people, and they live in extreme poverty, $1 a day or less. And their numbers keep growing, and they can't help it. Why? It's because they don't have access to medical care. Do you know their infant mortality rate is so high that even if they give birth to, say, 8 kids, probably 3, 4 will die? And the other thing is, what do they do for a living? They are probably farmers. And what is their source of labor? They don't have tractors, they don't have machineries. They use their physical strength for everything, like for farming. And where do they get this labor? They buy kids. And they don't just have 1 or 2. They give birth to big families. If we just think back, say, 2 generations, and we weren't that bad off, and our families were so big. And think about us now. Every woman had 2 kids, right? But how did we get here? It's because we have good education, we have good health care, but they don't. So I heard of this story of how this family actually went out of poverty. First, they couldn't afford slippers, so they saved for slippers. Then after this first step, they could walk 2 to 3 hours to the market to sell their crops. Then they screamed and saved. Then they bought a bicycle. From the 2 to 3 hours trip, it became 20 minutes. Look at how much more efficient they are now and how much more income they could get now. And bear in mind, they don't have storage facilities. So those 2 to 3 hours actually equates to crops getting rotten. They cannot sell. So imagine they took another step out, and slowly but surely they are progressing out of poverty. So this might seem fine, this might seem alright, isn't that hard, right? But I ask you guys one question. What about those who don't even have the money to feed themselves, much less save for shoes? What can we do for them? And how little we know about them because our lives are so good and so comfortable here. I firmly believe that education is important because with education they can know what crops is best, how to most efficiently manage their time and manpower, for them to be able to step the baby step out of poverty. So I firmly believe that first we need to raise awareness, then we need to give them proper education. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmasters.